Hello everyone, Lorenzo.emanuel here. Today I want to do something a little different. I'm going to start a little series of little small basic tutorials. I have been asked by multiple people that are sort of like more on the hobbyist side of music production and not necessarily like on the professional side to tackle some of these sort of more basic concepts behind music productions and how to, even down to the basics of like how to open a project, how to organize a project, what kind of tracks should I choose, and so on and so forth. So today I want to try to do something that it's goes way back to the basics. So if you are a beginner and wants to learn Cubase slash Nuendo or any other DAW, really, this concept sort of applies to most DAWs. Welcome, and sit tight, get your favorite drink, and we'll go through the sort of material together. If you are, medium to advanced composer, this is definitely not the video for you. But stick around for more stuff, more advanced stuff on my channel. If you guys enjoy these kinds of videos, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends and people that may be interested in these kinds of concepts, and make sure to hit the notification bell. You get notified every time I make a different video or a new video. Without further ado, let's jump into the DAW. All right, so we are in my main screen, and as you can see, I just double-clicked on my Nuendo icon. This for you may say Cubase, this for you may say Studio One, and may say Logic Pro, depending if you're on Windows on Mac. Of course, I am on the Windows machine, so I will have this kind of setup, but no matter what it is, you are going to be greeted with some sort of introductory window that it's going to tell you exactly what you want to do. Now, as you can see, I have my main template highlighted because it's the template that I built myself. So I would jump right into, a project when I have to work on something. But most likely this for you, especially if you're using Nuendo or Cubase Elements, this for you will be empty. And the only thing that you will have is if you click on templates right here, you will have the empty voice right here, which is exactly what we're going to start with today. Click on empty. And now what you need to decide is where the preliminary resources of this project are going to be saved onto. And by that I mean this little situation right here. So right here you have, where do you want the project folder to be? And in the project folder, you will find things such as the audio that you recorded, like your vocals, your guitar, your bass, whatever you're recording, it's going to go into this project folder under the folder audio. And then we'll go and see what actually gets saved in there. But mostly it's the project resources that get saved there. So metadata that has to do with like, autosaves, anything that you are doing into your project that needs to be located somewhere, this is the spot where it will go. So you have two ways of doing this. You can either set a use default location, and by default, this is going to direct you to your C drive, and it's going to go to your user, your name. In this case, I have, Lorenzo Emanuel, documents, Nuendo project. You can select this and you can have that as your default location, or you can do prompt for project location. Now, what this will do is that when I hit create, it will give me a window and say, okay, cool, you want to create an empty project. Where do you want this project to go? And so I go into my project folder, I go into my Nuendo project, and I will create a folder right here and say video test project. Okay, and you can name this the name of your song. You can name this if you already have the name of a song. If you name this new track or whatever you want to name it, so you can remember what project you're talking about. And so you will select the folder. You have that clicked. Select the folder. Now everything about this project is saved. It's going to get saved and it's going to get stored in that folder we just created. Okay, pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory so far. All right, so what do we have here? We have a project window, which is very bare, very empty. So the first thing you want to do is to familiarize yourself with the functions of your main project window, which is this one. And to do that, since now it's all empty, what you want to do is you want to right click on this window right here and start adding tracks. So if you are going to start off with a piano or with a VST instrument that you will play through your keyboard, then what you want to do is you start adding instrument tracks. You click on instrument tracks. Right now I'm going to select one of my easy plugins right here so you guys can kind of follow along. If you don't have any third-party VSTs yet, no worries at all. I'm going to go into my samplers And let's see, let's select something that is sort of common to have. Let's do Alien Sonic. Now, right here it says audio output. You're going to select your audio output, of course, which is stereo out, which will basically translate to the outputs of your audio interface. What are we having here? It's Alien Sonic. We're going to add the track. We're going to add one track. And all of a sudden, you're going to start seeing things getting populated on the left. Most DAWs are going to have some sort of volume control right here. That's the level. We refer to it as level, not really volume. There's going to be a panning. This is the panning. You can push this instrument left or right according to what you want. You can double click to it to make some finer adjustments to have a little bigger. Or you can press Control. If you're, say you're like here, you want to press Control and click to center it back to 0 position. You can shift and drag. Press shift and drag. That way you make finer adjustments to your level, as opposed to this, which moves pretty quickly. If you press shift with it, it will go a lot smoother and a lot slower. So you can do really, you can go like by increments of 1 instead of, you know, how fast your mouse goes. It kind of forces, it locks the motion into increments of 1. This button right here opens and closes the window of your instrument. It's called Edit Instrument. So we have our, I'm going to zoom this. We have our Alien Sonic track. And this is your first instrument. Now you have a couple of way of dealing with this. You can say like, oh, I need more instruments. Well, you can rinse and repeat. You can keep adding instruments like that, and you have a secondary thing. Or you can duplicate tracks. And to duplicate tracks, you select on the track, right click on the track, and say duplicate track, and that duplicates the previous track, and it comes with a little D right here that stands for duplicate, of course. So you can go and delete that, and you have a entire separate tracks. Now, and that as far as the instrument do, what you saw me do there, by the way, is I just pressed a button up here on my touch screen, which made the edit instrument right here appear. So you can see I do that. Okay, so we are on our first track, and in Alien Sonic, I can load some instruments. Let's load just a regular bass. Let's do like a clean bass, whatever. Normal GM stuff. Okay, sounds pretty good actually. Okay, so we have our bass. Now we're going to rename this track bass. Okay, now one little trick that a lot of people may miss is when you record a track. I'm just going to record. I'm going to hit rec on my touch screen, but you can press this button right here, which is the multiplication sign, and that will start the recording. Okay, so I'm going to play something just for the sake of it, because what I want to show you is, as you can see, this track, because we named it bass, it's named bass up here. However, what if I want to change the name of this track? Well, unfortunately, Cubase won't let you change the name of this track just by renaming this track right here. So for instance, if I do all of a sudden I want this to be electric bass, if I press start, as you can see, the track on the track list has changed, but the track in the project has not. Now, what do you need to do in order to do that? You have two ways of going about doing this. First off is you click on the track, and up here it shows you the breakdown of the track. You go up there and you change this to electric bass. So that's a way of doing it. However, there is another faster way of doing it, is that when you go and rename the track right here, you press Control and then you press Enter, and that will automatically change the track for you up there. Okay, so there's these two ways of doing that. Now, I have my VSTs. Now I'm gonna open this one up. I'm gonna select a keyboard. I'm gonna do E piano. I'm gonna do just a normal Mark 1 Rhodes. So that's a kind of a cool sound actually. I don't mind it at all. Now we have a piano. I'm gonna select this. Let's do like Rhodes piano, whatever. It doesn't really matter how we name it, because you get the point. You get what I'm trying to get at. Also, my project starts at bar 15 because my previous template starts at bar 15, but you will probably start like something like this. To obtain these minus tracks, you have to do something else, which I'll show you in the future, but just so you know, this is probably what your project will look like starting from bar 1 or bar 0 or whatever. So, and for the third instrument, I would say let's get a drum kit. All right, there we go. We select our drums.